Forgive me this great indulgence to paint. This is the most indulgent thing to be an artist. I usually nap a lot. I have to because of my brain. It's like a spiral. It spirals up, and it stays up, and it spirals and spirals and stays up. And then when I've utilized everything that I need, when I know that something has reached completion, done is done, and then I get to enjoy it. Everything that I need is within me. Everything that I have is before me, and I don't require a landscape or scenery to paint, because actually I'm going deep into the depths of my mind, my emotions, my heart. I would not be able to do this if I did not have some sort of inspiration. I don't think it may be internal, but you still have to have outside influences to move you. And it may be bizarre to other people to think that I can be inspired by something the size of a postage stamp, or that the smell of a certain candle or candles being snuffed out, the smell of someone's skin that you love. You just have to be still and at peace, and maybe not have the television on, or maybe give up television, or some things you do have to give up. Oftentimes before a big project, I'm not eating. I may have medjool dates and yogurt and mineral water. I can feel through the work if my things that I take and that I eat for nourishment are a little more simple. Or I can, be a breatharian and just breathe the nutrients out of the air. That works when you're waiting in between being paid by clients. I want to make some sandwiches. And I was pretty much maybe the artistic one in the family. Was always doing, maybe little placemats and name cards, things that, simple things that you start out doing as a child. I brought this up from the vault, and this is an earlier work 2 years before my first art show in 1985. And I believe that the title on this is How Far Is Far. It is a small chalk pastel and colored pencil on paper. And actually at the time I thought it was quite large. But as you can see, it's the size of a doily. And my work has advanced onto a much larger size of 7 feet, 8 feet, 9 feet. But I'm happy to share this with you because a lot of people don't ever get to see this, because it's in my private collection and I rarely have anything in inventory. You can actually start seeing the progression of my work during the early 80s, the mid 80s, the 90s. And, time has marched on, so, you have accumulated gifts. I don't want to say baggage, I would say gifts. So you can actually begin to see who I am and who I've evolved to become, I believe, through my work. In the beginning of my career, which began in 1985, my focus was totally on chalk pastel on paper. All my works were on paper, and they were wonderful. But I also was using a very toxic medium. And of course, I'm not generally a person that would pay attention to things like that, and I didn't. I wanted to feel the substance on my hands. I wanted to feel it caressing over the paper. So I breathed in a few particles of pure pigment. So then, after many years, maybe 10, 12 years of painting or creating works on paper, the medium then for me became either oil on canvas or acrylic on canvas, or I've developed things that I consider my own special secret sauces. I like to build up my canvases so that there is a depth and there's an intensity in them. There's maybe a veneer on top, but underneath it you look and you keep wanting to search, and that's what's important about work. Our artwork is that you're continually searching, you're continually exploring, you're continually emoting. It's changeable every day. Now, my friend Gabe Rivera, who's an artist, he goes straight from the tube right to the canvas, which is why I never used to do that, but I thought, okay. I always thought it was cheating, you know what I mean? You're going straight from the tube. You're going straight from the tube to the canvas. But since I've self-taught, who's going to ever tell me that kind of stuff? I'm not organized. That's the whole thing. I don't think there is a process. I think it's called. I'd rather call it the doing. The process is the doing. If you don't do the doing, there is no process. So you have to do the doing. For all of you out there that are interested in a career in the arts, don't be told what to do. Don't wait for the green light. Just go do it. Get your supplies, get your stuff, do it. It's a state of being, and it's actually a state of grace. I consider what I do very sacred. If you think about it, we all don't need that much in life to be happy. It's one of the few things I don't have to think about. When I am painting, I do not think. I think I'm thinking, but I'm not agonizing over, the color. The colors are before me. I reach for what it feels to do. I love those colors. I just want to keep working. It has nothing to do with being famous. It has everything to do with expression and creativity and vigor and passion. It's important that people enjoy my work and that they get the feeling that emits from it, and that's what I hope to do. Probably one of the greatest thrills and treats that I still think that comes to me is when someone is so moved by what I have created that their eyes well up and they can't speak. That is somehow the nicest. It's the most surprising, but it's the nicest thing somebody can give to you. I would like to thank Hotel Gran Trento for showcasing my artwork at their gorgeous hotel, and for Dennis Forti, my art agent in Trento, Italy, for organizing this beautiful event for me, for Francesco Scano Lusso, who is the sculptor artist from Rome, and for joining me. I appreciate it very much, and for Larson Jewell, who has been making gorgeous moldings for over 100 years, and I've been using them not quite that long, but exclusively for my projects, and I thank you. And I'm using the Cinematographer on my little abstracts. Thank you. And thank you all the people that, you know who you are, that made it possible for me to go on this trip. Thank you.
Arte e ospitalità si incontreranno dal 29 settembre fino alla fine di dicembre 2011 nella Sala Depero, il Grand Hotel Trento, via Alfieri 1, Trento, Italia 30122, telefono 0461 271 703. Artista Kathryn Henneman e Francesco Scano Lusso faranno la mostra di pittura impressionismo astratto e sculture di legno e pietra.